Good evening to you all, and good evening to the today's resource person and all the participants, those who are joined here. This is Veer Maheshwar Charitable Trust Latur, India, organizing daily international webinar series. And in this series, we are inviting the speakers from India and abroad. This series is running from last 5 years, and speakers are contributing every day on the topic as per their interest and research and the study. In today's session, Dr. G. Vanishree Madam, who is Coordinator of Economics Department and EDC, ICFAI Business School, IBS Bengaluru. She joined here to speak on the topic poverty and measures to reduce in India. So this webinar or the series covers every topic related to science, education, technical, health related. So today's topic is a social topic, social from social subject, that how is poverty and how the measures to be reduced in India are adopted by the government. She will introduce herself and can start her speech. Thank you, ma'am. I welcome you and I welcome all the participants, those who are joined here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity to me. It's a great pleasure. I've been in touch with you for a few months back, and you have given me this chance. I thank Maheshwari Trust also for this. Just a small introduction. Thank you for the introduction which you have given for me. A small introduction by myself. I'm Dr. Vanishree. I have done my MA Economics and I'm PhD in Applied Business Economics. I have did my journalism and I'm gold medalist in journalism. And I have two PG diploma courses of 2 years. One is of entrepreneurship and the other one is rural sustainable development. And I have 29 years of experience teaching various colleges. I have worked as principal, director, HOD, vice principal, coordinators, etc. So it is really my pleasure to be here today in the international webinar. I have written few books on microeconomics. I have 4 Scoopers publications and 4 times I have been awarded as Best Teacher Award from different colleges. I have been awarded as Best Adarsh Yuvati Award also. And because of my children, I could receive Best Parents Award also. I'm blessed with 3 children and they are little different from others. I think very recently you must have heard about a major captain who has delivered a baby on railway station. He is my son. I'm proud to say about him. And I'm a member of MTC Global also. And I have been working as a secretary for Shastra Arjuna Kshatriya Samaj at Secunderabad for 4 years. And presently, I'm working at ICFAI Business School. Since last 10 years, I have been working here. And it is my pleasure to work here. And that's it. Now I want to start my topic related to poverty. Now, whenever we talk about poverty, we just try to think about what does poverty exactly mean. Today, my granddaughter also was telling that, what are you going to speak on? I said poverty. So she says, how are you going to introduce this poverty? Then I said, you're too young to understand this because there are few people, even elders, who could not understand what really the poverty is. Because when we describe about poverty, there are various things which we consider as we are poor. Now, deprived poverty, which seems to be a little bit different. When poverty refers to a state of individual where we are unable to fulfill even our basic needs of life. For example, food, clothing, and shelter. This is generalized thing about the poverty. Now, there is a dilemma. Whenever I teach some unemployment or poverty in the class, I ask the students whether unemployment has come first or poverty has come first. So it is like people say that I am poor, that's why I'm unemployed. Some people say I'm unemployed because I'm poor. Now, this is like hen and egg. What comes first? Now, criteria may be very much different. Now, telling about the poverty. Now, for the first time in India, that is after 1971, Dandekar and Rath, these people have given a concept of poverty which is based on the calorie intake. They have taken the prices of 1960-61 and they have given that rupees 15 per month during that time. If you are earning, that means you are above poverty line. And later on, they have described about urban also. Minimum 22 rupees 60 paisa if you earn per month, that means you are above poverty line. But later on, they have described depending upon the calorie intake. And this committee has laid the foundation for a committee which is called as Alag Committee. This was done by the Planning Commission in the year 1973. Later on, in 1993, there is a Lakadwala committee who spoke about the poverty in India. Now, why so much of importance has been given? We know that India was quite rich country, right? And we have been drained by the Britishers totally. Now, this drain has inculcated more and more poor. At the same time, after independence, when the population has been doubled in the 40-year span after independence, now this also has created a problem like facing more poverty. Now, coming back to not only India but across the world, we find poverty everywhere. Even in well developed countries, also we find poverty. They may not die of poverty, but still they are facing poverty. 1.1 billion poor across the world, which is 43%, which are severely poor. They're not dying of starvation, but still they are poor. Now, in some countries like Sudan, Yemen, Mali, Niger, now 80% of the population are very poor over here. That 80% is nothing but 251 million people over here, right? Now, let me just try to explain about the types of poverty. When you talk about poverty, poverty are of four types. One is rural poverty, other one is urban poverty, next is absolute poverty and relative poverty. Now, related to rural poverty, what is rural poverty? Now, here the farmers are almost tenants. Land holding system was quite different during Jamindari system. Now, this has made people to have hold only a small holdings. With that small holdings, due to lack of technology or lack of fertilizers, even to pay. Now, the productivity of their farms was very low. Malnutrition, very less. They are underemployed. The reason for telling underemployed is like we have two types of crops in India, like Rabi and Kharif. In between, people are just idle. So this idleness, they don't know what to do because in farms they have less time to work. During harvest, they are working, but during when the crop grows before harvest, they are just idle. Okay, they lack health facilities, they lack education, and I think it is due to isolation also, where people are not aware of what is happening across. So this has made the description about the rural poverty. Now, coming to urban poverty, generally we see huge buildings. Beside that, you see lot of slums. Now, these slums, they do not have proper sanitation. All the people are informal workers. People try to migrate from rural areas to urban areas. And at the same time, these people are called as gig economy. Gig economy, which we now talk about And it is a hot topic when we talk about macroeconomics, unemployment, etc. So there are a lot of inequalities when we talk about urban unemployment. Their employability is not at all sure. They may get work as and when required by the people in urban areas. Every day there is no promise of work which is done to them. And the quality of life is very, very poor. No proper food, no proper surrounding, no proper health facilities, even in urban areas, even though they are working. But the amount of money which they are earning, that is not at all enough to live in urban areas. Now, we are living in Bangalore, and Bangalore is more costlier, I feel. So, I have been in different places. I feel that in Bangalore, if you are earning 1 lakh, and in Hyderabad, you are earning 25,000 less. And if you stay in Agra or Jhansi, I think 60,000, we can lead the same standard of living. That's what I feel so. Being in defense, I have been to different cities, and what I could find out that the cost of living in every area is different. So here we talk about urban poverty. Now next comes about absolute poverty. Absolute poverty means no proper food, clothing, shelter. People die of starvation. Now, this position I think we do not have anymore in India. And we find now, especially in African countries, where people are deprived due to drought. And in Hindi, we can call it as akal. Now, these people, because of the drought, they are unable to go for farming, and mostly they depend on land. And the children are also, all are mostly underprivileged, and they do not have facilities even to get the food. The international organizations are also unable to reach the poorest of the poor, especially when we talk about Mali and other countries, especially related to South Africa. Now, coming to relative poverty, this is the fourth type of poverty which I am discussing now. Now, relative poverty, it exists everywhere in developed countries, underdeveloped countries. Of course, there are no more underdeveloped countries, but developing countries also. Now, what is relative poverty? Relative poverty is I try to relate with somebody, and I feel that he is having a BMW car and I'm not having. So by comparing with others, I'm thinking that I am poor. By comparing with others. Now this exists always. But what is the point of positivity of relative poverty is each one will try to compete with each other. While doing this, we try to improve our standard of living. Now we try to see others how they are improving. Even we like to have our life also like that. And we have been seeing that relative poverty is a part of our life. Neither government can remove, nor any international organization can remove. Neither we ourselves also can remove that. Now, absolute poverty. Coming back to absolute poverty. No food, no clothing, hardly shelter, and hardly clean water, no proper good surroundings, and we are incensed. The poorest of the poor, they starve most of the time. One meal also is very difficult for them to get. Sometimes this condition arises due to war, and sometimes due to disasters, natural disasters. Now, during the time of COVID, there were so many daily wage earners who were unable to have proper jobs, right? They were sitting at home, whatever small savings which they had, these small savings they have spent, and they were just asking for money to others. I have seen there are several people, especially those who come for constructions in urban areas. So they try to sell their land, whatever piece of land they have. If they are tenants, they just leave everything and come to the cities. And this 1 year of the pandemic was very, very difficult. India's economy has gone too much back because of the pandemic. Now, as I said, relative poverty can be found even in rich communities. Now, coming to the point of well-developed countries, that is growth countries, or coming to the point of developing countries have to make the changes qualitative and quantitative. Now, to see that more people who should be above poverty line. Now, the topic of this poverty line, it tries to distinguish between one set of people and another set of people. Now, generally, all the committees which are there, the expression what they have given about this change between these lines of poverty and below poverty line. Now, that line refers to, as expressed by Dandekar sir, he talks about certain calories. 2,400 calories we should have intake in rural area and 2,100 calories in urban areas. In urban areas, physical work is less. In rural areas, the physical work is more, therefore, intake of calories has to be very high. At least that 300 calories differences it is showing. Which means that if a person is unable to have those many calories per day, that means he is below poverty line. Now, every time we can't measure it, right? That how many calories I had or like that. Just by seeing the conditions, especially where they are living, especially how is their surrounding, okay, and where they are working. Is the work permanent or are they getting daily wages properly? Now, as and when we are seeing that government has been trying its best for the people, especially the poorest of the poor. Now, we have seen that Aadhaar cards have been introduced. Now, ration cards, whatever we are having, there are two different types of cards, especially BPL card. They are getting certain better, better ration or better prices, what the government is able to provide them for their malnutrition. Right? Now, coming back to some of the characteristics: hunger, starvation, poor health, limited economic activities, and especially when we talk about rural areas, there is a saying that farmer is born in debt, lives in debt, and dies in debt, which means that whatever we have carried through zamindari systems, that is still continuing in most of the rural areas, and the compound interest which are charged by the rich people in the rural areas. We see all this, especially in movies, but practically when we go, I have been in some places and I always interact with the people, workers who are around us, maybe near the college or near the home. I get a lot of information about what they were, what problems they have faced, how much of land is in debt, how much of money they are owning to others. And if at all they are keeping near the pawnbrokers, all their wealth, the gold, the silver, everything they have lost just because they were unable to pay the debt. So debt also, the continuation of this debt also is one of the major problems where the poorest of the poor is being poor only. And next comes gender inequalities. Especially, we are not talking about the urban areas. Yes, urban areas also have some kind of differences. But in rural areas, most of the people, what we have been seeing is, they tell that if you are a son, yes, you have to study. And if you are a girl, you have to take care of the household work. Because girls are born to take care of the household only. Even today, after 75 years of independence also, we find such kind of mindset in rural areas. So what we need to do, we have to change these mindsets. Then only one can come out of all these clusters which try to hinder the growth of our country. Okay. And another thing comes as joint family system. Now, whenever I talk about joint family system, especially when I teach unemployment, in joint family system, there are few people who contribute to the development of the family economically, but there are few people who are related as disguised unemployed, which means marginal efficiency of those people to contribute is zero. They look like they are working, but actual contribution is nil. So this is one of the topics what we teach in economics as disguised unemployment. It is hidden unemployment. Just like you cannot make out that how many people are under disguised unemployment. Only thing is, if you remove these people from the house, then you can find out that whatever people were remaining, only those could be contributing in a better way. Now, other things for which we can tell that poverty has been increasing. There are so many other causes also. It is not only the joint family system, not only the mindset of the people. See, there are so many people in India who want to learn something, but they are deprived. Maybe facilities are not good. Now, how many of our parents, how many of us are we ready to put our children, especially in government schools? Are we ready? We feel that government schools are not up to the mark. Okay. Now, what about rural areas? No private fellow will go and come with hi-fi schools over there. We are not giving a good base to the kids. If good base, good skills are given to the students, to the children, especially till the age of 14. What does our directive principle tell? Our directive principles say that there should be free education till the age of 14 years. Are we giving? We are not giving. We are not giving free education. Is any government coming and having a cross check? Of course not. The fees have increased like anything. It has become a big competitive market for our kids to get education. A small child, I'll tell you about international school, 4 lakhs is the fees, and 4 lakhs we can improve the quality of the poorest of the poor to such a level that we can definitely come out of this cluster of the poverty. Now, one more cause, what we talk about, especially when I'm talking about education, I'm talking about illiteracy. Now, illiteracy, literacy, and education. People are illiterate, but there are so many people who are very good earners, even when they are illiterate also. What we find, there are literate, educated, but still unemployed. They are unemployed by self. They don't want to take up certain work, so they are deprived. So, like this, we find all different categories of people and related to indebtedness. Now, people start blaming that I am becoming poor and poor just because there is an inflation in the country. Now, country cannot grow without inflation. Today only I was teaching in the class about inflation. Mild inflation is must for any country to develop. We know that our expenditure has to exceed because we are growing from the roots. We are changing the quality of our living. We are changing the infrastructures. We are changing education system. We are changing connectivity. We are trying to encourage connectivity across India, which tries to help us in development, right? While doing all this, we cannot think about without inflation, our country will grow. Anytime we try to see that whenever there is inflation, we start blaming the government. There's nothing to do with government here. Prices fluctuate many times. And these fluctuation of prices, we just blame the government directly. Government has got very good schemes. It is not that the changes in the prices, it also depends upon demand and supply of any goods, right? So the prices are different accordingly. They try to fluctuate, especially when we talk about core inflation. Now all these things matter a lot. Now, coming back to again, let us just peep into our rural areas. In rural areas, people have less connectivity. For what? Especially the growing technology through which they can implement in their wherever they are working, and they can get a better output. They can get better income or better output of that. No, because of lack of knowledge, because of lack of connectivity. Now, there are some problems which are related like this. A poor is poor because he's poor. This is what people start talking about. A poor is poor, but he has to come out. Nobody is going to give a finger for him just to uplift him, right? We have to work. We have to work together. We have to uplift ourselves. So the most important thing, what I feel so as a teacher, that the mindset of the people has to change. Now there are so many students who are waiting for job opportunities. If they are getting 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, they're not ready. They say we are spending lakhs of rupees. So at least we want package of 10 lakhs or 8 lakhs. Where do we stand? Don't we have to change our mindset? Somewhere we need to stand. And just like that, we cannot tell, yes, I'm unemployed, so I'm not having proper standard of living. So these are some of the outcomes what I see in Gen Z now. Now, some more things which I would like to discuss about is before independence. Now, the freedom fighters were kept in the jail whenever they asked for azadi, or whenever they want to get freedom. When they talk about the freedom, they used to put in jail. So there is something which is related to talk about poverty when we talk about prior to independence. There is something called as jail cost of living. Now this was used to calculate poverty line. In jails, people were given just a little bit rasam dal or whatever it is with small quantity of food, nothing more than that. Okay, so people started telling this as jail cost of living, which means that minimum food which we could have just for survival. In fact, poverty line is cutoff point of your monthly per capita expenditure. That is what people talk about. If monthly capital expenditure is these many rupees, like different committees have given different categories of people should have more than 1,500 rupees in 1966. Later on in 1993, Rangarajan committee said that people should have more than 2,000 rupees per month so they can survive better. So all these are outcomes of some kind of research what they have done. Research depends on, see, when we talk about inflation, we can't compare again this much of money. It is always at the base level, like how we calculate our national income and our per capita income. Now, telling about per capita income of the country. Now we are telling that lot of Indians are poor, lot of people across the world are poor. Now, based on this per capita income, generally when a country is growing, not only growing, whenever a country is having its national income, which is divided by its own population, we get per capita income. Now, this per capita income shows the standard of living of the people. Higher the per capita income, higher is the standard of living of the people. Now, Per capita income also is depending upon the population of the country, right? But per capita income is one of the good indicators to know that which country's people standard of living is better or which country's people standard of living is low. But through national income, one cannot compare. The reason is the land area is different, the amount of income what they get as national income, that is different, GDP is different. GDP for growth countries are hardly 2 to 3%, but countries like India, our average GDP is more than 6.8%, and we are expecting more than 7.2, which definitely has impact on standard of living, which means lot of people. Now I have some figures also for you. How many people from 2015 onwards, 2023, I have got some figures. Yesterday also I did some research on this. I was feeling very good to know few facts about how this deprived people, those who were starving in India, they have come out from the clutches of the poverty. Now, generally, when yesterday when I was studying something on poverty, I could come to know that for the first time I could come to know about this. Like there are poor who are very chronic. Yes, that is chronic poverty and people are dying, but the meaning was little different. How was the meaning different? Means here chronic poverty referred to people are poor only for some time, not most of the time. They are poor for some time, and within that some time they are unable to come out of the clutches because of ill health or something where they could not afford, and people die. But they are happy and they are quite, not, you can't say well to do, but still they are quite better, they can have food, everything. Now this kind of poverty is said to be categorized as poor and chronic. Another type of poor, categorization of the poor is transit poor. Now, sometimes farmers, especially transit poverty, exist in rural areas. The farmers are very happy after the harvest till whatever they have produced, okay, whatever they have produced and they have sold, and in the meantime, when their money is over, when they cannot afford to buy much things, they become hand to mouth. Now they start taking loan until the next harvest. So these are some of the things what we are facing. So transit poor, sometimes farmers are quite well to do, and sometimes again they become deprived. And another category of poor is they are non-poor, they are non-poor, but comparatively to rich, they are poor. So these non-poor who were never poor, but still they are categorizing as non-poor only. So that is what I have learned yesterday because of the opportunity given by BETKAR sir. I could come to know all these categories of poverty also. Now, to reduce the poverty, what Indian government has been doing, there are some approaches like growth oriented approach, which is also called as trickle down approach. But this trickle down approach, this was started somewhere in first 5 year plan, that is from 1951 onwards, but that has completely failed. Now the failure of this, in the second 5 year plan, we could not give much importance to poverty or giving importance to poverty, how we have to make people better off. In the second 5 year plan, we started giving importance only for industries because we felt that first 5 year plan, agriculture importance, we could not grow at all much. Second 5 year plan, completely importance to industrialization. There also we were unable to cope up. But later on, from third and fourth 5 year plan, we started these two concepts where we need to add it in every 5 year plan. First concept is poverty. reduction of inequalities of income, and also unemployment. Unemployment is common phenomena everywhere. Unemployment, we cannot tell that well-developed countries are fully employed. We cannot tell. And we have proved it also. We have proved it with different theories. Unemployment is common phenomena. But unemployment definitely leads to poverty. So here, I just wanted to tell that from the third five-year plan, Indian government started giving importance in all the five-year plans till date. We are trying to add up these two concepts: removal of poverty and reduction of unemployment. So, and another concept which has been added in fifth and sixth five-year plan is inequalities of income has to be reduced. Haves are becoming more and more rich. Have-nots, the gap between haves and have-nots have been increasing a lot. I also have some figures with me regarding haves and have-nots. It seems that only there are few percentage of the people who are having 1% of Indian is earning 22.6% of country's national income. Can we imagine this? Until unless we knew these figures, we cannot imagine that only 1% of the Indian are earning 22.6% of country's national income. And only 1% in India hold 40.1% of the wealth. So just imagine that 1%, 2%, 3%, our economy is just going round and around. And top 10% of the people in India are 58%, total 58%. That means 10% of the people are having 58% of the national income. And bottom 50% are having around 15% of the national income. So these figures, one have to think about it. Now, I'm not telling that India is, many people in India are poor. My concept is, when we are teaching economics, we see that the major problem is lot of gap between rich and poor. And government has been trying a lot. Yes, tax the rich more. Let us help poor. We'll go with freebies, right? We'll try to provide some better quality food. Midday meals have been introduced. The reason for this is what? Because in rural areas, people want more physical work. They don't want to send their child to the school. But poorest of the poor starts thinking that if my child goes to school, at least that one time meal he can have. So this is one reason. We are doing midday meals. We have started like this. We have started several concept like self-help group where all the women come together, they register, they start working on it. Earlier they were only housewives. Now the government is supporting them to form the associations and also to see. So these are some of the programs. I would like to discuss few programs like what the government has been doing. There is one program called as Poverty Elevation Program. This was started in the third five-year plan. This was started in the third five-year plan. That is from 1961 onwards. There is a program called as Minimum Needs Program onwards. There is a program called as Minimum Needs Program. Now, employment generation scheme. Instead of people migrating from MS, you be self-employed. Government is there to support you. Irrespective of their literacy, we are trying to provide them proper skills. These skills are enhancing them to get properly employed. Now, rural unemployment, which seems to be one of the problems why people are migrating so much from rural areas to urban areas. Government also started SEZ, special economic zones. Now, these zones have been created to reduce the inequalities of not only income of the people, but also regional inequalities. Now, we have been seeing that from independence till today, Bihar seems to be the poorest state. The reason behind this, there are several reasons, of course. Some talk about politics also. Yes, it is a part of it. But natural conditions in Bihar are such that always it is with the floods or with the drought. So, in both the cases, we are unable to cope up. And when we talk about Maharashtra, when we talk about Kerala, when we talk about other states, even Jharkhand, lot of poor people are in Jharkhand. I also have figures which I'm going to share about Jharkhand also, UP also, and Bihar also. These are some of the states which are poor. Till date, I'm talking about till date. So many parties are changing, so many people are changing, so many central government schemes are coming, but we are unable to implement. And to tell you the fact, government schemes are very good. But where is the gap? The gap, what we are seeing, which is coming from top and going to the poorest of the poor or the needy. Now, this gap, there are a lot of loopholes in this. So, the person who is deprived is unable to get the schemes which are organized by the government. Leave about this. These people, especially when I talk about MBA students, they have not registered as they are unemployed, graduate unemployed. Government is having some schemes to give that minimum amount of money for them after graduation. They have no idea. So, lack of knowledge also is a part of what I'm telling about unemployment and poverty. There are several very good schemes which have been introduced by the government. There is something called as Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, Swarna Jayanti Sahakari Yojana, that is self-employment schemes, and something related to Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana, which is coming in the form of self-help group. Just now I told about all the rural areas, at least 12 women coming together, they are starting with self-help groups. There is something called as Food for Work program. I think this program has been converted as Manarega program, which is nothing but your National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. This act has come in the year 2005. Later on, this has been converted into Manarega program, which means this is related with Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. Now, under this scheme, minimum 100 days of job is given, especially the gap between the two crops Indian farmers are having. To fill up this gap, government is giving guarantee wages, minimum wage plus minimum days of work. The minimum wage is at least 500 rupees for 8 hours of work, and minimum days of work is 100 days. So this guarantee about the job opportunities which has been given by the government is one of the best, where people can afford to improve their standard of living, especially in the rural areas who are dependent on agriculture sector. Now, there is a fact here. What fact? Not only 100 days, but especially for what do you call scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. For them, specially the government has planned 150 days. That means 50 days they can earn a better income related to other people. So the reservations which are made here are very good by government. And there are some drought prone areas, especially when I talk about Bihar. Sometimes it is over flooded, sometimes drought. So even these areas also the government is giving guaranteed job for 150 days. Now, first time this program was started in Andhra, and successfully that has been taken up across India. So now it is one of the most important programs what we see about it. Now let us go with some critical evaluations of this critical evaluation of poverty elevation programs. Now, we lack some resources. That's why people say we are unable to come out of the poverty. Now, what resources we require? Aren't the resources enough with us? Are we underutilizing our resources? Are some people overutilizing the resources? Now, the question arises about we say that poverty is just because we are unable to what do you call exploit the resources. India is one of the best for human resource. Don't you think we are utilizing this? But where are we utilizing? We are giving our all knowledge, brain drain, only to other countries. Are we giving up to India? Are we improving India? I don't think so. So best of the brains are going away outside. We have best of the resources in the form of human resources. Why we need to shed our knowledge to others? We have to get others' knowledge to us, not our knowledge to others. The resources what we have, implementation also is very important. It is not just only we have resources. How we are utilizing the resources? Are we having the knowledge? Are we taking up proper steps to utilize them? All these. In between, what we talk about, execution. How are these programs to come out from the poverty or to have equal opportunities for all or to have equal standard of living? Where is the execution? We are unable to execute up to that extent. Then we talk about infrastructure facilities. Of course, infrastructure facilities is growing very fast in India, which is one of the cause that we have become third fastest growing economy of the world. And the other things is one of the challenges is poor never want to participate to come out of the poverty. So he feels that this is my life. Whatever hand to mouth he is getting, he feels that yes, this is my life, and he goes on. Never want to come out of it and see that what is happening in the world. Where am I? When I compare with others, where am I? Now, this kind of competition, if it is available to us, definitely, don't you think in a competition everybody wants to compete with each other? So that is what I talked about initially as relative poverty. So whenever we have such kind of things, when we compare ourselves with others, we know where we stand. Now, one of the biggest problem is people who are living in these clutches, they never want to come out. They never want to see that how other people have been improving. What is causing them to improve a lot? Yes. Now coming back to another committee, which I would like to tell here about. As I said, there were few committees, like first Dandekar and Rath, and later on Lakdawala committee, later on Rangarajan committee, later on there is a committee called as Tendulkar committee. Now each committee, whatever they have given related to calories are almost same. Few talk about 2115 calories, few talk about 2100 calories. So the difference is between little calories. And when they are talking about monthly income of the people, everybody has given like more than 2000 rupees with the base price of 2011-12. When you take that base price and today's, like their monthly income has to be at least 6 to 7,000 rupees for the survival, just for survival. So these are different committees who have given their different ideas at different times, how we can come out from the clutches of the poverty. Now in 2024, urban poverty line, what they have given is 1944 monthly one should earn with the base price. And coming to rural poverty, at least 1632 rupees per month, they need to earn this. Now, highest rural poverty, just now I was talking about Bihar, right? Highest rural poverty is in Bihar. 14.8% of the rural population is poor, and 8.9% of the urban population is poor. So total population of Bihar, if you see how many people, how much percentage of the people means, there are 13% of the people who are below poverty line. Now we know that some rich people have adopted some cities. Bill Gates adopted one city in Bihar. What is the position? All politicians were told, all MPs were told that please adopt one district. People started adopting the district. What is the improvement which is done? Where is the improvement? My question is always like that. I feel like I should have a loud voice to talk about all this. I just wanted to go with what is called as to create something like Voice of Vani. Whenever I see these things across around when I'm traveling or when I'm sitting with people, many things come to my mind. That if everybody wants, everybody has to participate. It is not some set of people. It is the whole set. We have to change our mindset. We have to have some ethical norms. We have to follow some ethics, some morality. From childhood, if you start giving all this knowledge to the children, definitely we cannot find poor in very rich countries like India. I'm telling very rich because India has been rich. It is rich even today. It's only few people who are unable to recognize where they stand in the country. So, some more thing about Jharkhand. Jharkhand also is having 11.2% of the people who are below poverty line. Now, this data, I have got it from the research which is done by State Bank of India. Now, coming back to World Bank data. In 2025, extreme poverty line, which is falling from in India. They have done research for India. Now, for India, what they have given the figures is in 2011-12, the people who were below poverty line were 27%. But in 2022-23, that has come down to 5.3%. So I really felt very happy. These figures I have taken just 2 hours back to discuss with you all. Even I felt it's very good to see that India is growing at a faster pace. So when people come out from the clutches of poverty, and definitely the standard of living also starts improving. Everybody works, they contribute to the economy, they contribute to the society, they contribute to the family, right? So these gender inequalities and other things we have to take care. These are the basic roots where we need to change to come out of the clutches of poverty. Now there are some government welfare schemes also, direct benefit schemes. What we are seeing talking about freebies nowadays, right? So it is nothing but because of Aadhaar cards and because of these UPIs and other things, the leakage of the money which was coming from government to the poor people, that has been reduced now. The reason is our system. The system has been changed after getting Aadhaar card, after having UPI. We are just sending directly money to the farmer's account or directly benefits going to the poor or with the scholarships going directly to the students' accounts, etc. Those are minimum 2,05,324 rupees average income of Indian. How much it is? Let me repeat this. 2,05,324 rupees. When you convert this into dollars, because we have to talk internationally also here, it is $2,800 approximately. Dollar rate is changing, so we have to tell just approximately. And it seems the figure shows like this: 90% of Indians are earning average of 20 to 25,000. I'm telling only average. In that also, there are some set of people who are earning very high in lakhs. There are some set of people who are earning 7,000, 10,000, 8,000 also, right? So When we take overall 90% of the people, the average is coming to 20 to 25,000. And 1% of Indian earns 22.6% of country's national income. I was talking about the richest. I already spoke on this, right? And some other things which I would like to go with is, now the latest things what we are seeing here is the transformation because of artificial intelligence. Now, this is creating wonders. Wonders in sense, some people are afraid about this, that job opportunities may go. Now, as a teacher, I am telling you, once AI is telling everything, where people require teachers anymore, right? They are trying to give better solutions than us. But of course, human touch is not there. There is no human touch in this. We talk about supply chain programs. We talk about online market platforms now. So slowly and steadily, we are on the path of economic development in a more faster way. People across the world are targeting India because it is the fastest growing. Just 3 days back, we have seen that some thousands of crores of rupees have been invested. The promise that companies are making for Telangana government. The reason is we are providing infrastructure. We are providing people. People are migrating from different places. What we are seeing at present is other people from other countries are targeting to come to India. The reason is fastest growing. But still, there are some things which we need to change basically, especially the mindset, have little ethics, little bit morality in our teaching, not only for marks. As a teacher, we should not be just behind marks. In every class, there should be few certain words where we could change at least somebody's life. So as a teacher, I really feel proud that I am a teacher and I am able to convey whatever I want to convey. I can't collect people nearby my house and ask them to listen to me, right? Now, as a teacher, I get a chance that I have so many audience. In the audience, out of hundreds of audience, at least if one person I could change, I would feel that my life is successful. That's all from me. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity to me, to Veer Maheshwar Charitable Trust also. And I really enjoyed talking over here, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vanishree. It was a great to listening you that your topic was very studious, right from definition of this, what are the levels of poverty, how
Yes, yes, sir.
is different states, yeah,
Yes, sir.
what are the government plans as schemes like from the independent, and what is today's government is trying, how
Yes, sir.
become progress with the economy. So it is a very structured and the best speech by you. Thank you very much. And
Thank you,
also,
sir.
to all your academic achievements, awards, publications, and everything
Yes.
you achieved as an academician. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. We are very happy. Now,
Thank you so much, sir.
now I request participants to discuss with our today's discussion person. Thank
I think. I,
Yes, sir. Doctor, sir.
yes, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening,
Wonderful
sir.
lecture you are given.
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Bector sir always introduce wonderful personalities and resource persons, and
Okay, sir.
I think today also we got a good knowledge and information regarding the poverty and various dimensions for that. So I think it is one of the question or one of the point which has been discussed since quite a long time, means maybe 30-40 years in politics also, very behatav, that word is always there.
Yeah.
But even after generation, that word remains there, and that is how we
Yes.
can say poverty still exists today also.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
definitely, this is one of the very crucial the point. I think nowadays poverty has changed its dimension also. Like people are putting their money in share market, they run behind, and all of a
Yes.
sudden, one day, fine day, they come to know that they are
All
bankrupt.
the money is
Uh,
bankrupt. Yeah.
and the lifestyle changes. The person who was having a flat of some crores, and they had to sell down everything, and then he's just coming down
Yes,
and
sir.
he's searching for the job or something like that.
Yes,
So
sir.
I
Yes.
think the crisis can come anytime. So very important thing, what are the points you said, that we are growing very fast. On other side, we got to know that the valuation of the our Indian rupees has gone little down, right? That is also one of the fact what we have to accept. And
Sir, from economics point of view, we have to do this. Then only our country can grow. There are a lot of concept when we talk about devaluation of our money. Now, America is planning to peg the money with gold, which was quite earlier. Now, because of he want to peg it through gold, now the rate of dollar is going to fall. Because of this, Trump started planning to peg through gold now. He's asking everybody, let us peg with gold. In that case, our Indian rupee will become very stronger if pegged with gold can be stopped. All countries may not accept this. Once upon a time it was. 100 years back it was. Not now. So a lot of changes are coming, sir.
yeah, definitely, because we are not knowing much about this aspects, economics
Yes.
and finance. But yes, definitely, when there is a fall, there is a rise. So I think that
Yes.
equation is playing a role over here.
Sure,
And a
sir.
very important thing, I want to say that money is not everything. Even we are talking
Yes.
about poverty, and poverty is not equated with the money, but it is equated
Yes.
with the starvation, and it is equated with the
The
what kind of
skills
food status we
also.
are
What
having.
kind of skills we are having? Are we
Yeah.
uplifting ourselves? Right.
Yeah. So there are some, the other parallel parameters are also there, which I know, that is PQLI, that is Physical Quality of Life
Quality of
Index.
life index, yes.
So that
HDP is
that is
there.
also one of the
Happiness
criteria,
index
because
is there.
whenever I'm going to the remote tribal areas, those people not having much purchasing power and
Yes.
spending money or something like that, but they are very happy.
They are
So
very
I think
happy.
that, yeah, so maybe money wise they are poor. Poor mean the what sense? They are having their land, they are having their
Yes.
house, they are having their.
Yes.
So I think that is another very important aspect.
Sir,
And some people
Bhutan
are.
president, sir, Bhutan president in 1974, during that time, he told that hell with your GDP. I don't want to compare my GDP with any country. I just want to compare that my people are very happy in my country. Whatever is their criteria about the money, but happiness calculates here. Now
So
people
that
started thinking from that point of view now instead of money.
yes, yes, and quality of life has more importance than what
Yes,
the way
true,
of we are living.
true,
So that
sir.
is one aspect, very important aspect. And nowadays, I had seen people becoming artificially poor. Artificially poor in the sense they are getting that utpannata dakhla and all those things. Get
Yes,
it
yes.
ready, and artificially they are showing their
Sir,
BPL, below poverty
I'll
line.
give you one
Because
example
I'm
of
working
this.
in one of the trust, and in
Yes.
the trust, the people who are wearing five golden rings in hand, he is showing the card. That is also one very important criteria.
Sir,
So
very,
when we are measuring,
employment.
when we are quantifying the poverty, big question comes. Why we should say BPL, why we should say, and the person who wants medicine, but he doesn't have authentic papers, he cannot be shown as a below poverty line person. So these are the basic questions are there. So please comment on this one. Thank you.
Kindly unmute, ma'am, because two mics are not working, so I have muted you. Kindly unmute yourself, please. Two mics not working at a time, that's all. Yes, you can unmute and reply to the question.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What I was telling is, as sir said, many of them are creating themselves as below PPL. This is absolutely right. I have been seeing people who are surrounding my house. They are quite rich. They are living in their own house. But still, you know what is the criteria? They have 4 kids. All 4 kids are studying in central school. They are showing as BPL. Now, as you said, sir, Savanand sir, as you said, the things are going on like this. So this is creation of artificial poverty also is there. Now, for this, what has to be changed? The changes what we have to get is the people who are giving this BPL cards. Corruption has to be reduced. Under the bench giving money has to be reduced. Right? Mindset of the people, let it be, no problem. I may not get a BPL card, but let me be fair enough. This kind of thought has to come. Now, who is going to change this? It's a teacher. Again, not AI. So we have to work very hard as teachers to come out of all this. Still long way to go. Of course, many years have passed, me also teaching, but the next generation teachers, whoever are coming, they should have such kind of mindset that we can change the new generation, new India, new Indians, new children to up to that level.
I think, but because of the transparency nowadays, at least the beneficiaries are getting benefited.
Benefited
That
because
is the
of
best part, what you said in your lecture.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you. Thank
True,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir. Anything else, sir?
Thank you, Dr.
Sonu,
Sir. Anyone want to discuss can unmute and can discuss with our speaker. जो यहाँ उपस्थित है वो चर्चा कर सकते हैं. Thank you, madam. It was the best speech. As from 1 hour continuously you are speaking. So
Thank
it's time to thank of you. And
Thank you, sir.
so you will be invited as a speaker on another topic. Thank you very much for accepting
Thank
our
you, sir.
invitation. And
Thank you,
joining
sir.
as a speaker. Thank you.
Jai Hind, sir. Thank you.
If anyone want to discuss, you can discuss.
Anyone wants to talk?
एक बात मैं बोलना चाहूँगा मैम.
जी सर, बताइए सोनू सर.
बोलना चाहूँगा कि जैसे मैं बिहार से आता हूँ
जी
और
सर.
जब बेरोजगारी की जब बात की जाती है तो वो सिर्फ एक बिहार का मुद्दा नहीं रह जाता, वो पूरे देश का मुद्दा होता है.
ऑफ कोर्स.
और लोगों को, जैसे मैं बिहार में हूँ तो बहुत से युवाओं को मैंने देखा है, एक चर्चा जब करते हैं आपस में, वो किताब को, दुनिया को छोड़कर आप जब देखेंगे, जब धरातल की दुनिया में जमीनी स्तर पर, तो बहुत सारे युवा तैयारी करने में लगे रहते हैं. मैं बिहार से हूँ तो कई ऐसे गांव कस्बे के लोग हैं जो राजधानी पटना में रूम लेकर पढ़ाई करते हैं.
जी सर.
और मैं उनका एक आस लगा रहता है कि वो कुछ करें, कुछ भविष्य में कुछ बेहतर कर पाए, कुछ इन तमाम चीजों को. बहुत सारे बिहार के विद्यार्थी दिल्ली भी जाते हैं, महाराष्ट्र भी जाते हैं, बहुत सारे.
बैंगलोर में भी बहुत सारे हैं सर. बैंगलोर में भी बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं.
और इस बीच में मैं समझता हूँ कि ये विषय इतना इंफॉर्मेटिव है. और आज सबसे बड़ा बेरोजगारी का आलम जब देखा जाता है, लोग कहते हैं बिहार में ओनली बेरोजगारी है. ऐसा नहीं. बेरोजगारी एक ऐसा शब्द बन चुका है जो हमारे पूरे भारत में. मगर मैं वर्तमान स्थिति की सरकार की बात करूं ना, सरकार ने एक थीम रखा है, आत्मनिर्भर भारत का. तो आत्मनिर्भर भारत का सीधा प्रोपेगेंडा है सरकार का कि अपने आप को ऐसा बनाए कि आप लोगों को डिपेंड करने वाला बचे. और ये दूसरी बात की MSME जो सरकार का जो उद्योग आधार था, जो
मीडियम एंड स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज,
हाँ जी, उसके माध्यम से बहुत सारे जो है यूथ अब अच्छे काम भी कर रहे हैं. तो कहीं ना कहीं नकारात्मक चीजों का प्रभाव पड़ता है तो कुछ पॉजिटिव हो नहीं पाता है. जैसे कि आज देखिए बेटकर सर इस प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से कुछ सही सकारात्मक चीजों को कर पा रहे हैं जो चलनी चाहिए. वो चर्चाएं नहीं होती है, मगर सरकार, मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि उन तमाम विषयों को उठाकर लाते हैं जो कि यहाँ पे चर्चा होता है, जो हमारे जीवन शैली से जुड़ा हुआ होता है. और इस बीच में मैम आपने जो भी बातें बताई, और मैं तो लाइव सुन रहा था यूट्यूब के माध्यम से, आपने जो भी पॉइंट्स रखा है और जो सर ने सवाल किए उसके माध्यम से जो मैंने जाना, मैं वाकई कहता हूँ कि ये चीजें आज के समय में हम जैसे युवाओं को बिल्कुल जाननी चाहिए. और आपका मैं बिल्कुल मैम वानीश्री मैम, आपको दिल से धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि आपने इस विषय पर अपना जो मंतव्य आपने दिया, जो अपने अनुभव साझा किया, हमारे भविष्य के लिए, हमारे भविष्य के लिए बेहतर होगा। और मैं समझता हूँ कि ये इतिहास रचने का जो क्रम जो चल रहा है, बेटकर सर को धन्यवाद है, क्योंकि आज के डेट में सबसे ज्यादा इकोनॉमिक की स्थिति है। क्योंकि आप सब कुछ कर सकते हैं, लेकिन लोग, एक बात है ना, रुपया को सब कुछ बना दिया। आपकी इकोनॉमिक नहीं है, तो इकोनॉमिक नहीं है तो कुछ भी नहीं है, आपके पास परिवार भी नहीं। और इस बात को मैं भली भांति मैं समझता हूँ। जब पुराने लोगों से बात करता हूँ बेटकर सर, समय ज्यादा नहीं लूंगा, जब बात करता हूँ लोगों के बीच, तो मैं लोग पुराने जो अंदाज में बोलते हैं कि पहले जब हलिए तो हम सब एक जगह बैठा हलिए, तो एक जगह बैठने का मौका मिलता था। आज वो कल्चर समाप्त हो गया, लोगों में आदान प्रदान, वो ये तमाम चीजों के बीच में बेरोजगारी की बातें करना और कैसे आर्थिक स्थिति को सुधार कर, राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में भी बहुत सारी चीजों को बता दिया गया। तो वाणीश्री मैम, आपने जो पॉइंट्स दिए हम लोगों के लिए बेहतर है। भले ही हम बिहार में हैं, मगर एक देश एक राष्ट्र की बात करते हैं, और ये प्लेटफॉर्म वासुदेव कुटुंबकम की बात करता है। इसके जीता जागता उदाहरण बेटकर सर का ये प्लेटफॉर्म है। मैं कोटि आपको धन्यवाद देता हूं कि आपने बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण बिंदुओं को अपने जवाब बताया।
हम सब ये चाहेंगे कि विकसित भारत जरूर हम देखेंगे। मैं पता नहीं रहूंगी नहीं रहूंगी जब तक, लेकिन मैं ये चाहती हूँ कि 2047 विकसित भारत देखना ही देखना है। अपने बच्चे या बच्चों के बच्चे, उनको ये अनुभव होना है। तो जो आत्मनिर्भर और विकसित भारत है, अगर इसी तरह वो चले तो बहुत कुछ होगा, बहुत कुछ। थैंक यू सर।
धन्यवाद सोनू जी। सोनू जी एक अच्छे पत्रकार है, हमसे जुड़े हैं 5 साल से, और एक जर्नलिस्ट होने की बहुत उनकी कोशिश रहती है कि ये विचार यहाँ के सब तरफ चले जाए, और सबको आपस में ये भी करते हैं, इन्फॉर्मेशन करते हैं कि ऐसा टॉपिक है तो जाओ। उनके बहुत अच्छे पॉइंट्स रहते हैं डिस्कशन में, तो हम बहुत
जो समय जो देते हैं वही बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट। आजकल पैसे से ज्यादा समय सर, जब 5 साल से ये इन्वॉल्व है इसमें, सो दिस इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट। कितना नॉलेज बढ़ा होगा इनका, है ना? इट इज ऑलवेज।
मैं बस इतना ही कहना चाहूंगा कि पत्रकारिता करना एक मकसद नहीं होता है। पत्रकारिता आज जो जिस दिशा में और दशा में चल रही हो, तो हम लोग वाकई देख भी रहे हैं, मगर जो बिंदु पर बातें जो बेटकर सर करते हैं, वो मैं इस बात को, ये मेरा नकारात्मक पक्ष बोलिए सकारात्मक बोलिए, ये मैं नहीं जानता हूँ। मैं इतना समझता हूँ कि ये चर्चाएं उन चैनलों पर होनी चाहिए थी, जो चर्चाएं जो आज नहीं हो रही। और ये जो पीड़ाएं जो उठा रहे हैं बेटकर सर, कई प्रोफेसर हैं जो लगातार कोई सीपीडीएच के माध्यम से, कोई किसी माध्यम से बनाकर ऐसे विषय पर भी चर्चाएं चल रही हैं मैम, जिसके बारे में कहा नहीं जा सकता है। और मेरा एक उद्देश्य भी है कि मैं पत्रकारिता भी करूं तो एक सकारात्मक दिशा में करूं, ताकि देश हित में, जनहित में कुछ काम हो सके। ऐसी पत्रकारिता क्या करना जो दिनचर्या में ही नकारात्मक हो, और हम उस बीच में जो हम दिखाएंगे, जो बताएंगे लोगों को, वही भ्रांतियां दिमाग में लोगों का बैठेगा। तो जब हम नकारात्मक चीजों को छोड़कर सकारात्मक पक्ष को देखेंगे, तो ही कुछ कर पाएंगे।
मीडिया बहुत बड़ा रोल है, मीडिया का बहुत बड़ा रोल है।
मैं एक बात और बताना चाहता हूँ, पहले लोग आकाशवाणी को सुनते थे, आज कितने % लोग इस आकाशवाणी को सुन रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल
हम कहाँ चले गए? और न्यूज 24 आज तक, ये तमाम चैनलों को मैं नाम इसलिए ले रहा हूँ, ये अपनी टीआरपी बढ़ाने के लिए कुछ भी कर रहे हैं,
कुछ भी।
तो मैं समझता हूँ कि अगर ये समझना है कि हमें सकारात्मक पत्रकारिता को देखनी है, आप कभी आकाशवाणी का बुलेटिन खोलकर देखो, किसान की भी बात हो रही है वहां पे, वो हर योजनाओं की बात हो रही है। तो मैंने देखा, मैं सोचता हूँ कि अभी तक वो चीजें लोगों तक नहीं पहुंच पा रही है जो जरूरी है, और वो लोगों ने उस चीज को, उन चीजों को एक्सेप्ट कर लिया जो नकारात्मक चीजें हैं। तो जब आप नकारात्मक को छोड़कर जब सकारात्मक को देखेंगे, तो ही आप सही चीजों को जान पाएंगे। लोग हमें भी कहते हैं कि आप आकाशवाणी को देखते हैं तो वहां तो मोदी का प्रचार होता है, तो हम उन्हें ये भी जवाब देते हैं कि भाई आप कांग्रेस के हिसाब से सोच रहे हैं, इसलिए आपको मोदी दिख रहे हैं। आप कभी उन तमाम बुलेटिन को सुने, वहां ऑथेंटिक चीजें मिलती है। सांसद टीवी पर मैम, आप जैसे संसद टीवी पर जब आप जैसे प्रोफेसर डिबेट में बैठते हैं, जो चीजें वहां मिलती है आज तक दे पा रही है। और जर्नलिज्म के छात्रों से मेरा हमेशा अनुरोध रहता है, आप अगर पत्रकारिता में अच्छा करना चाहते हैं तो आप आकाशवाणी चाहते हैं तो एडिटोरियल को ज्यादा से ज्यादा पढ़ें। आप ज्यादा अच्छा करना चाहते हैं, संसद टीवी को सुने, ताकि आप सही चीजों को जान पाएंगे, तो ही सकारात्मक दिशा में काम कर पाएंगे। धन्यवाद।
हाँ, बहुत अच्छी बात है ये भी। अच्छा लगा ये सुन के। मैं तो ये चाहती हूँ कि कुछ पत्रकार, कुछ टीचर्स को बुलाए जहां ये सारी चर्चाएं हो और फिर छपे और फिर कुछ लोग पढ़े, या तो YouTube के माध्यम से जाए, ऐसे भी कुछ होना चाहिए।
धन्यवाद सोनू जी, बहुत ही अच्छी चर्चा है। आज आपके राज्य का जिक्र बहुत हुआ, क्योंकि हर राज्य की मैडम ने पॉवर्टी बनाए हुए रीजन बनाए, वहाँ के जो अकाल पड़ता है तो बहुत बारिश उससे भी तकलीफ है, और उससे बहुत सारी पॉलिटिशियन प्रयत्न भी किए और कर रहे, जो अडॉप्ट कर रहे हर जिला। ये सब पॉइंट बहुत अच्छे मैडम ने आज तरीके से स्टडीज बोल दिया है। व्यास सर, आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
बहुत ही अच्छा उद्बोधन रहा मैडम का। और ये एक ऐसी समस्या है कि इसका पॉलिटिकल तो लोगों ने मतलब पार्टियों ने उठाने की कोशिश की, लेकिन समस्या को उन्होंने मतलब दिल से जो है उसको हल करने की कोशिश नहीं की, क्योंकि उनके वोटिंग बना रहे। बाकी अगर दिल से काम किया होता, लोगों को एक वो पैसा दे के लालच कि भाई एक आपको मुफ्त में रोटी खिला देंगे ताकि आप बैठे रहो, इससे अच्छा उनको रोजगार एम्प्लॉय किया होता। अब मेरा एक मानना है कि आजकल जैसे बेरोजगार है, ये सबसे ज्यादा युवाओं का देश है, तो उनको आप एक साथ 50,000 नहीं दे के आप 15,000 दो, लेकिन सबको उनको भी आपको काम करना पड़ेगा। 5 साल बाद आपको पेमेंट बढ़ाएंगे, तो सबसे जो पढ़े लिखे हैं वो रोजगार उनको अवेलेबल हो जाएगा, और वो इधर उधर भटकने से अच्छा है देश के लिए सकारात्मक रूप से कार्य करेंगे। और उनको नशे से में या ऐसी लोगों को उसको एक्सप्लॉइट नहीं कर सके, उनको आतंकवाद के रूप में ये संगे, तो इस ढंग से कुछ सकारात्मक कार्य करें तो ही अच्छा है। और वैसे एक्चुअली है कि नेता लोग या कोई भी जो है बुद्धिजीवी लोगों को इसलिए भी ज्यादा नहीं चाहते हैं, क्योंकि बुद्धिजीवी अलग से सोचेगा, उनकी इशारों पे नहीं चलेगा। और उनको जो है ऐसे लोगों, ज्यादातर जो लोग हैं उनको चाहिए कि हमेशा जो भेड़ है उनके पीछे चलती रहे। तो इसीलिए जो शिक्षा शास्त्री होता है उसको हमेशा जो है कोल्लू का बैल, जो सरकारी टीचर होता है, उसको हमेशा इतनी जिम्मेदारी दे देते हैं कि वो ज्यादा सोच ही नहीं सके या रोटी से ऊपर ही नहीं आ सके। तो ये एक विडंबना रहती है। तो इस तरफ से थोड़ा सकारात्मक ढंग से कुछ आगे बढ़े, और देश अब कुछ कर रहा है तो आगे बढ़ेगा तो और अच्छा होगा, और हमको ऐसी आशा रखनी चाहिए कि देश आगे और बढ़ेगा। धन्यवाद मैडम।
हम सब जरूर आशा करेंगे और हमारी आशा भी पूरी होगी एक दिन।
एक बात मैं कहना चाहूंगा मैम, और सर आपके चैनल के माध्यम से, कि बहुत सारे हमारे जैसे उम्र के जो बच्चे हैं जो पढ़ने के लिए पटना जाते हैं या कहीं जाते हैं, पूना चले जाएं, मैं सब देखता हूं कि अक्सर वो यूज का शिकार हो जाते हैं। तो मैं समझता हूं कि अगर मेरी उम्र के कोई भी हमारे साथी यहाँ होंगे जुड़े हुए, तो उनसे आग्रह हुआ इन तमाम चीजों से बचें। आपको भटकाया जाता है, भटके नहीं। और आप जब तक आप अपने आप में रहेंगे तो कोई मुझे भटका नहीं सकता है। और अपने मन का गुलाम नहीं होना है, खुद मन को अपने अंदर गुलाम बनाकर रखना है। तो आपको अगर माता पिता भेजे हैं पढ़ने के लिए कहीं भी, तो आप वहां जाएं तो बेहतर भविष्य की
अपना मकसद पूरी करें, अपना मकसद पूरा करें।
बस यही हम चाहेंगे। और क्योंकि मैं देखता हूँ आज की यूथ भटकाव के रास्ते पर भी है, तो उन्हें ये लगता है कि कम समय में मैं कुछ ज्यादा यर्न कर लूंगा, ज्यादा जल्दी से जल्दी करोड़पति हो जाऊंगा, अरबपति हो जाऊंगा, ये मनसाएं दिमाग में चलते रहती हैं। तो आप जो व्यक्ति एक पड़ाव पर हैं, जो कंपनी जिनका डेवलप हुआ है या एनजीओ डेवलप हुआ है, पहले उनसे बैठकर बातें करें, वो जाने किस स्तर से वो खड़ा किए थे और आज इस मुकाम तक कैसे पहुंचे हैं। तो उनकी सारी किताबें आपको जानने पड़ेगी, किताब में नहीं मिलेगा, उनके पास बैठने से। मैम एक बात मैं बता दूं, मैं पत्रकारिता में मैंने बहुत स्ट्रगल किया है अपने आप में, और बेतकर सर जानते हैं हम लोग 3 साल लगातार कोरोना काल के घेरे में रह गए। अगर ये कोरोना काल भी नहीं होता तो मैं आप लोगों से भेंट भी नहीं कर पाता, क्योंकि ये मंच भी नहीं मिलता, ये मंच नहीं मिलता। करेक्ट। तो ये दूसरी चीज, मैं भी बहुत पुरानी टीचर हूँ जो हाथ से लिखती हूँ, आज भी मैं चौक एंड बोर्ड से मेरा काम, मेरा कोई पीपीटी नहीं है। मेरा एक फेमस हो गए कॉलेज में कि मैम बोर्ड पे पढ़ाते हैं, नो पीपीटीज। कैसे आज भी वही हूँ, पर स्टिल आई कैन हैंडल ऑनलाइन ऑल्सो। मैंने अपने आप को अपग्रेड किया है, क्या कर सकते, जमाने के हिसाब से हमको भी चलना पड़ता है, बट स्टिल थोड़ी पुरानी चीजें साथ चल रही है, बस चला रहे हैं।
शिक्षक को हमेशा अपडेट रहना ही पड़ता है, नहीं तो वो बच्चों के
नहीं तो नहीं जी पाएगा।
उसको तो हमेशा होना है। और इसमें मैं एक और समय ज्यादा हो रहा है, लेकिन एक बात कहना चाहूँ कि सबसे बड़ी एक जो समस्या है कि अभी के जो मतलब पेरेंट्स है, उनका भी एक कमी मानता हूँ कि बच्चों को जो है सही जो है जो शिक्षा नहीं दे पाए, जो नैतिकता और वे सब, उसके कारण क्या भौतिकवाद की तरफ ज्यादा भाग रहे हैं। उनको एक ही संस्कार अच्छे दे जाए ताकि वो भौतिकवाद से ज्यादा जो अपने लिए क्या जरूरी है उन चीजों को पहचाने और इस हिसाब से आगे बढ़े, नहीं तो भौतिकवाद में अंधे उसमें जो है फिर आगे जाके पता नहीं है। और अपनी जो सामाजिक व्यवस्था है उसमें आजकल जो ऐसी स्थितियां आ रही है, जो चीजें हैं, तो उसके कारण जो समाज में जो कहीं पे भी जो विसंगति दिखती है, तो उसमें कहीं न कहीं जो है जो पेरेंट्स हैं उनका संस्कारों की जो कमी है, वो मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि उसको थोड़ा सा सुधारा जाना
सुधार
जरूरी है।
लाना पड़ेगा। सुधार पेरेंट्स की तरफ से भी बहुत सारा है। हर चीज मत दीजिए जो बच्चे को चाहिए, आपके पास होगा पर उसको अपने से कुछ करने के लिए देना चाहिए कभी भी।
इसीलिए मैडम एक वो कहावत है, पूत सपूत तो क्यों धन संचय और पूत कपूत तो क्यों धन संचय।
करेक्ट।
तो ये एक सबसे बड़ी कहावत है, वो वही सही है आज के जमाने में। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर।
धन्यवाद मैडम। आज की चर्चा और ये सेशन बहुत लंबा चला, क्योंकि अच्छी चर्चा हुई है, क्योंकि चर्चा इम्पोर्टेंट है होना, क्योंकि चर्चे से और अच्छे पॉइंट्स मिलते हैं। जैसे सोनू कुमार की चर्चा हो, हमारे व्यास सर की हो, या हमारे डॉक्टर सर की हो, तो ये सभी चर्चा में से इसको पूर्ण रूप आ गया कि क्या उनके अपेक्षाएं हैं, कैसे इन्वॉल्व हो सकते यूथ, या डॉक्टर साहब ने जो आज के फेक प्रायोरिटी के सर्टिफिकेट निकल रहे वो भी समस्या। तो ऐसे सब ये टॉपिक अच्छा रहा। आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू मैडम। थैंक यू टू ऑल।
आपका भी धन्यवाद सर, हमको इस मंच पे लाने के लिए। थैंक यू। जय हिंद सर।
जय हिंद। जय हिंद मैडम। जय हिंद। जय हिंद।
बेटकर सर तो हमारे सूत्रधार हैं, सारे प्रमुख धुरी है, उनके चारों तरफ सारी चीजें घूमती है। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद व्यास सर। आपका आवाज सुनने बगैर हमारा ये प्रोग्राम एंड हुआ तो अच्छा नहीं लगता, तो आपका आवाज सुनना ही है हर दिन। थैंक यू। आज हमारे जयवीर सिंह भी नहीं दिख रहे, 2-3 दिन से दिखेंगे क्या? थैंक यू मैम। You can leave now because we are keeping user for the discussion.
Yes sir, thank you sir. Bye sir. Good night sir.
Bye. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Dr. Saab. Good night.